All right, welcome to the 16th episode of Up on Foil, the podcast where we talk all about foiling. And today we have a special guest. It's Anna Ambroziak. Is that pronounced correctly, first of all?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm Polish, so it's my surname. It's not easy, especially after 5 years in Australia to pronounce from people from here. But yeah, Ambroziak, it's my surname. That's correct.
Perfect. You're a very talented foiler. You're an owner and founder of a Wing Center, kingwing.com. You're doing crazy wave rides. You're a woman in a man-dominated foil world, and you still have to hear the sentence, well, that was pretty good for a woman, which we'll probably talk about later on as well. You, as you said, are originally from Poland, but live in Perth, Australia now. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Is there anything you need to add or want to add?
Look, so long story short is I just came to Perth just before COVID. Then I sort of, stuck with my windsurfing gear and wave sailing. That was my main goal, to be here on holidays. And then yeah, what's a pity and such a bad place to stuck, right? So after a year, I was running back of the day marketing agency and media house in Poland. And, after a year, I connect with my friends and I said, oh, guys, should I stay? Should I go? They said, Anna, Europe obviously is crap. We wear the mask. So maybe if you want to stay, what you will be doing? And I said, look, I don't know, but in the one month's time, I will give you a call and I will figure out. And I was thinking, I know a lot about marketing, enough about business and water sport. And I called them back and I said, look, right, I just start to self-learn wingfoiling and I will open first wingfoil school in Australia.
That is super cool. So you just said, I want to learn that for being able to teach later on.
Yeah, so, I have one of my study, which was finishing in Poland. It was sport and physical education. So I have this, methodology background. And I guess I was teaching people skiing during my study and windsurfing. So I just, need to adjust this to new discipline, which this self-learning process, as you guys probably know, it's pretty hard and usually long and frustrating. I knew exactly what I don't want to do or how hard it can be for people if you don't have a guidelines. And it's not that I was like, tiny with my money to don't invest in the classes or something, but there was absolutely no one here 4 years ago who was teaching winging. So, I thought that I will take this opportunity, self-learn myself. And it was up north. It's in Exmouth, so it's like 1,500 kilometers from Perth, as an Australian usually used to say, just behind the corner, mate. So I made, yeah, distance here is crazy, really. So when I, make the ride back to Perth, organize myself permit and, accreditation, open the school, that people are desperate to learn. So it was good timing.
That is cool. You said you have a windsurfing background, and I read that you also sailed 470.
Yeah, true. I was sailing and competing in 470s Olympic class for Polish national team many years ago, but yeah, that was my sport career, how I, start be into water sports.
We had Nathalie Brugère a couple of episodes ago. Do you know her? She used to sail 470 as well and went to the Olympics with it.
Oh, no, I never met her, actually, but that's so cool.
That's just a personal question. And then you wanted to start winging. Did you see videos about it and thought like, that looks cool? Or how did you come up with that?
To be fair and be fully honest with you, and my students know this, so I don't need to, hide this. Literally, I saw winging first time in Tenerife, I believe, when I was on my wave sailing trip. And I was like, what the heck is that? It looks so stupid. Who want to do this? And I said, why would you, keeping this funny wing in your hand if you can just hook yourself in a harness and job's done. So I was like, nah, never, it will never go through. And then when I started to self-learn, I was thinking, okay, because obviously, as you guys know, you don't need much wind to start winging. So I was like, okay, from 8 knots to 16 I will be winging and then go windsurfing. But obviously now I'm winging in 35 knots. I'm not saying it's as pleasant, but yeah, we'll talk about later.
You got the hang of it.
transition to my downwind adventure, sort of.
Do you still windsurf?
No, to be fair, I still have my beautiful Goya gear, but I didn't touch this last, I think, 2 years.
Oh.
If anyone, by the way, wanna buy, it's pretty good gear. Joking.
So you said that you're getting into downwinding.
Yeah, actually, recently, to be fair, on my holidays in next month, I have a quick go, but too small foil, wrong equipment, just hire from someone, and it absolutely didn't work well. I also was trying to use my wing in the hand, thinking that, it might be advantage because I know how to wing, but it was just, to be fair, mucking around and probably cheating. And when I came back to Perth, I was like, right, okay, now I'm commit. So I was photo shooting, proning and towing at Bali 2 weeks ago. But since I back, I was like, no, now I'm fully, commit. And now when it's windy, I even don't go winging because I really want to, nail this. So today it's fifth day of my practice. And I really put hours on this because just if people think, oh, you make it look easy or something, it's not easy for anyone. I'm more than sure. But yesterday I was paddling 1.5 hours on the river. It was like running marathon, but didn't give up. But to the point, today it's fifth day, and I'm so stoked, guys, because it happened. I was up on the foil and did proper 10 meters with turning. So it was not like just, accident. So I get the taste. I'm super stoked because, to be fair, I didn't expect that it's happened today. But yeah, now I know where I am and just need to put the hours in this.
The first feeling is the one that makes you addicted.
Yeah, I need to tell you guys, because probably not sure if you will be asking about this, but many people asking, oh, Anna, how you can, be in water in Australia? It's so many sharks. But I'm sure if sharks were around me, I was yelling from the stock so loudly that all of them gone.
Was that hard for you when you said, all right, I want to learn that, but then to really commit? Because usually when there's waves, there's also wind. So you could be winging instead, and it would be a lot more fun. Is that a problem?
True, Matt. And when I was up north, it would be a problem because Exmouth have a good waves, but not many people knows that Perth doesn't have really good swell. It's just ocean bumps. So here it's way easier to commit because I can go either way to the river, practice my winging freestyle session, or go to the ocean, but this is not a wave. So it's like for me here going winging, it's a little bit losing time. So it's easier to commit. And I'm not sure if it's true because, I'm not advanced downwinder, just a newbie learner. But many people who doing this really well says that Perth is one of the best conditions in the world. So I guess I'm in the right spot.
And are you learning that for yourself or also for teaching later on?
This is a good question. So with me, never know, but my idea was learning for myself, and also want to be, honest with my audience and all my followers to show them that, of course I'm human as well. And I'm going through this process. It's hard for me. Of course I'm falling off and etc. But since I start to, public these funny stories, like more people relate it and they start to text me, oh, Anna, can you advise what board you're using, how you get to this point, or what you do this? So I'm thinking not, maybe teaching, because I'm sort of moving myself from teaching, which I explain you in the second, but maybe next year, if I will be good enough, do some downwind camps that you can include in wing camps or, foil camps. That would be great. But I think at the moment it's cool that people can see there is someone like them on the other side who is struggling, and trying and put the effort and hours. And it's not like this, no offense, but with this all pro riders, when you watch them and you see how easy they doing this and you think, oh shit, I will never be there. So I guess it's encouraging to my audience, and I try to be honest. And also I'm very happy and lucky because I have really good lads around me in Perth and really good guys which give me tips, so I can share this hopefully with everyone.
And you had your 5th session today, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So I didn't, guys. I'm really honest. Look, I'm a really determined person, and I put, all life in sports, and very, I guess my self-discipline is on high level after training sailing, but I didn't have the expectation to be up, that was very nice surprise and reward from this last 5 days, just consistently, paddling.
And your hair is still wet from the last session today. How hard was it, or how did you improve, like, session per session? Do you always see progression, or sometimes you have the third session that was worse than the second one?
Yeah, I think on day third, I thought it will be regress because, like with everything, learning, skiing, windsurfing, winging, it's always like that. But I was trying to focus on small elements, and I think the game changer for myself, it was different paddle technique, obviously proper gear. This helps me a lot, but also trying to focus on paddle technique, which is more like really leaning in the front and make a stroke with your paddle in the front of nose of the board and leaning on this paddle instead, and finish when it's your when your front feet toes start instead, just what I was doing. I guess when I start, I was just like touching the water, or I don't know even what I was doing. So this helps me a lot, and since I understand how to do, I just put the hours on this. But if we say, let's say yesterday I went to the river because we didn't have bumps in the ocean, so we can say it's sort of regress because I was paddling on flat water, and try only catch the wake. But on the other hand, today was a reward from this. So, but I'm
For
sure
sure.
the journey, sorry for long explanation, but I think the journey just literally just starts. So now I'm literally start learning. It's not that I, can do it. Absolutely not.
Tell us a little bit about Perth, because I'm so interested in Australia, and I want to know, like, what's the first thing that you thought when you just landed in Perth or Australia in general?
Oh my God. First thing, it was the birds on the airport because they were so loud and the noise was so weird. They were like, I don't even know how to say because it was not really singing, but it was like a little bit like, yelling. So it was, I probably will never forget this. But for me, being European, it's like Australia is a different world, especially WA, Western Australia, when I'm based. I would describe you like that this is beautiful land with, wind and waves access on the all coastlines, and probably not so crowded in terms of people. So probably you will meet more wild animals than humans, besides of big cities like Perth, or actually Perth is one of the biggest city on WA, and that's it. Most of the time the other are smaller. So if you want to really, like, you are ocean lover and nature lover, that's probably the really way to go. And wildlife is just absolutely uh overwhelming. I never see, I'm traveling a lot, but I never ever see something like that before around the world. Like, bridging waves, turtles, the one I mentioned about, shark and snakes, because obviously they live here, but it's not so bad as people think. Guys, I'm here 5 years, and I laughing that I met 2.5 snake because half dead on the road. But 5 years and I touch the wood, I still do this. I never met the shark in the water. I know it's unreal, I know that they're there and they are every day there, but maybe I'm very lucky. However, first week here I was behaving like idiot because each time I screw the jibe on my windsurfing session behind out of the reef, I still have the skills. I am the fastest water start person on windsurfing in the world. I think I was doing water starting 2 seconds because I was shitting myself.
I know that feeling 100%. I saw one at the Canary Islands. It was even a small one, but I saw one and then like, oh, don't mess up that jibe. And then I messed it up and I was back on super quickly.
But I met some beautiful manta rays, stingrays, turtles. One bad thing's actually from north. I really literally hit the turtle with foil, and I was scared if I didn't. They have a tough shell, but I was scared if I didn't do anything to him. And I was literally on my new foil, and I was turning around in the water like, oh my God, please be in one piece. But, all good, luckily.
You're probably still happy in Perth. At least it sounds like that. Maybe you can tell us a story how you built your wing center. I imagine that needs a lot of time, a lot of money, and also a bit of luck that people actually want to learn these sports. Maybe, can you tell us about that?
And maybe you can also add on how we're able to actually stay in Australia, because it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, that both thing actually, guys, were really tricky. Definitely, I am the risk taker, So if someone says to me, "Oh, it's too hard, it's impossible," that's for me like open doors and invitation to prove that it's possible. Probably it's from my sport determination. So in the beginning it was really hard to get this all permit, because the law in Australia, you need to have a separate permit for each location you want to teach from the local governments or shires of the cities. You need to be accredited, which means by under some sport organization body like Skateboarding Australia or Australian Sailing, which gives you it does usually cover your insurance as well. And many things like logistic point with who to collaborate, organize the gear, etc., and how I wanted to set up this all lessons program. Lucky enough that on early days I was invited also to be board member of Skateboarding Australia, so I was volunteering for this organization almost 3 years. And I wrote actually the winging teaching curriculum, and we were collab with BKAS in UK, and had my friend Andy graduate here, and we did first instructor course, and that's how sort of it started. And then we deliver first state title, which is in Western Australia, and then wing nationals competition. So that was like sort of going all together, running the business plus volunteering in this organization. So I was really busy person for like 2.5, 3 years. But now I decide sort of transit. And in terms of living in Perth compared to Warsaw, because I'm from Warsaw, it's absolutely different things. My goal was be close to the ocean, no matter where, because one of my good friends laughing at me that I'm more fish than human, so probably the ocean is my natural habitat, and I feel safer there. But people here were very friendly and helpful, with this building my school. And yeah, life in Perth, definitely it's good when you have a lot of money, because Australia is pretty expensive. And in terms of the lifestyle, I think people have really, really good life here. But yeah, with the visa process, because I think that was another question, it's very tricky. Some people are trying to do this in 5 years and they failed, and there's big dramas because they need to come back home and stay sort of with nothing, with many investment. So it's and I think that Australian government make this really each year harder and harder. I'm lucky because I really don't feel like I want to live here forever. So last 2 years, I obviously have my old visas here, which is pretty special. But I am in winter. I am at Mauritius, or either way at Bali, because Australia is not as warm as you guys can think, especially WA. And June, July, which is Australia, and August, Australian winter, in my opinion, it's worse than winter in Europe, because it's just cold and they don't have isolation in the houses, so it's like outside, inside, sort of same. So it's not, and raining all the time. So it's not the, perfect condition for people who do water sport.
when you started that pro center, I imagine it's hard to find a building close to shore, and that's expensive. And then you need to buy a certain amount of wings, boards, foils. Again, super expensive, this stuff. How do you manage that?
So I did it pretty clever actually, because I had savings from home, but I didn't want to use it because for me it was like a trial and I wasn't sure if I want to live in Australia. So didn't want to invest a lot of money here. I went for a few meetings with the biggest local shops, and I pick one, and we start collab. So the deal was that they were deliver, the gear for my school, and in exchange, I was sending them people for buy a gear, and this is how we start collab. And also in first year I really wanted to do this because I was thinking it will be smart movement from myself, like I'm from Europe, no one knows me, and anyone here, like from local people, almost everyone knows this shop, so it was good from marketing side as well for myself. And then next year I started to organize, buying my own gear for the school, and still dealing with the same shop, but at the end of the year, like probably most of the school does around the world selling the gear and replace this. But I pretty quick realized that I don't want to really be retailer, if you know what I mean. One hand you can earn maybe pretty good money, but then you're just spending your days in the Excel sheet. So this is not
You're a
definitely
saleswoman
my
then, yeah?
thing. Yeah.
Was that then when you started your Instagram account, or was that before already?
No, actually, I opened an Instagram account, I think, for the school maybe 2 years ago, and for myself proper 1 year ago. And actually, I started to do Instagram when I decided sort of to not have the school. So it's how it's funny things is. So last year I had a conversation with my friends in Mauritius, and there is many brands there based which they test the gear. And I said to one of my friends from Ozone, I said, look, today I think it was in July 2023, and I said, look, I have 800 followers at the moment, but in a year time I will have one more 10,000. And he looked at me and said, okay, Anna, I know you, but let's see, and hopefully this week I will cross 11 thousand. Maybe it's not a big number, from some other people, but I'm pretty proud of it. And it was, a lot of hard work in the background, and many, hours and commitment. And also be honest with my audience, it was very important to me because I just show what I'm doing and who I am. No offense to the some of the other girls, but G-string G-string way, this is not my cup of tea. So I just I'm just doing me.
And you're on almost 11,000. You can see Anna at foil.anna, and your Wing Center handle is what exactly?
It's a long name because it's kingwing.foil center.
All right, good. So if you haven't seen her, go watch there. It says on your Insta that you're a team writer for lift foils. How did that happen?
So 3 years ago, when I think when I was good enough on wingfoiling, I started to collab with this local shop. I was first team rider for the shop, and then was introduced to the few brands. And after testing few foils, I pretty quick jump on lift foil. So for me was natural transition because I was already I think 1 or 2 years on lift, and I really like those foils. So when we have opportunity to talk, it was natural next step. In the meantime, I was also working with different brands, on Australian or international market, but at the moment it's actually interesting time because I'm thinking what to do, with in terms of what gear I would love to ride next year. So have some conversation in the background. So let's see how it goes. I'll keep you guys posted because who knows what 2025 bring. Hopefully only good stuff with good gear.
So you told us that you wanna transition, you wanna make a transition now from your school to something else. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So look, I really love teaching, and I'm normal girl. But when you go to Google reviews and read the Google reviews about Kingwing, if I would be like, if it would be not my school and I will be reading this, I will think that it's just, a scam, or someone is putting fake reviews, because people really very, a very high talk about my lesson, about myself, which is amazing, and I'm very grateful for that. But I was putting, guys, like, I'm athlete, but also maybe this is, I don't know, my Polish blood or something. I was putting 300% of energy in each lesson, talking all the time, using devices, and really, like, I cared for my students. I want to really make everyone successful, and people usually were up on the foil on second lesson. I think it's pretty fast and unusual, especially that we have some not always flat water here, sometimes bumps. And it was great adventure, and working with Sky during Australia, organizing this comp, be on the board, be one of the founder National Wing Committee here. That was all great, but I feel like it's time to move on to different things. And also, will be not lying, working as having a school center and working as well sometimes as an instructor is really hard work, especially in Australia, in this wind and very, very hot summers. And I had the instructors, but this is which I probably didn't predict here. This is not like Europe. It's really hard to find a good quality, staff to work. And I was like, each season starting, make a recruitation, and then they ended up probably usually almost by myself. So I was like, right, so this is will not gonna happen if it's happening like that 3 years in a row. So I thought, okay, what can I do next? So instead doing lessons, I will be doing camps at Bali, Mauritius, and in Australia. And this is like a trips when people can just join because they want to have a social wing, or also camps in terms if you want to learn something. From beginners to all levels, Mauritius is a great spot to learn wave riding, for example, on the baby step to big waves. Bali is great to learn tow foiling or light wing, light wind. So winging is pretty pleasant there as well. So this is what I'm focusing from the business part, and two more things, but I can't tell now.
All right, let's wait then for that. Where can people find about these trips, about these camps?
So at the moment, I put all the information through my Instagram channels, and I checking the interest of this, and I have actually pretty good feedback. So I'm very happy about this. What I can say, we have a dates for the trips, that's for sure, and we'll be doing a big camp at June and July in Mauritius next year. So if you guys are free, more than welcome to join, even for social winging. Probably March, April, and August Bali. But Bali trips, because when you think probably Bali, either of Mauritius, it's quite far distance from Europe, but from Australia, especially Perth, when I'm based, it's 3.5 hours to Bali and 8 hours direct flight to Mauritius. So I'm a little bit like in triangle, with that. So yeah, so transition to hopefully to be a full Instagram team rider and doing my camps. So this is the goal. And obviously, I because people say find yourself proper job. I do proper job, and I was doing this proper job many years, so now I'm trying to have some fun in life, because I think that life is short, and I'm like, have a good thoughts about this, that maybe this is good direction. Hopefully we see.
Plus, it's still a job, right? Even though it might be a job that is super fun and enjoyable, which it won't be all the time, obviously, but that jobs can be fun too, right?
Yeah, 100% agree, Matt. And you know how it is. People think like, oh, Anna, you're living in a dream, spending all days in the ocean. But it's a lot of, work in the computer, organized. You know, guys, how it is. It's just a normal job, just in the recreation area. So, organize these camp trips, dealing with the local, providers, etc.
You said that in Mauritius it's great for wave riding, and I want to get into that because I think that was one of the first videos I saw of you with the wing in a, for me, crazy big wave. First of all, how do you start to learn getting into waves, and then are you never scared?
Of course I'm scared, and I'm the girl, so probably I will be, I will be honest with you. Of course I'm scared. Sometimes I'm terrifying. I only not screaming because I know that it doesn't help me to do anything. But usually when I'm with my colleagues, they will say, "Oh," I said, "I'm scared," and they said like, "I'm scared too." But then on the beach they probably will hide this because ego going on. I was like, "No, it was okay," but sometimes it's especially like. Probably my biggest experience, luckily finished good, was this year in Exmouth, and as well was 10 feet. I don't know, guys, how to explain you. I never see ever something. I have never ever see something like that in my life before. It was just the walls of the water coming towards me, and I can't even describe how I was feeling. Probably took me 20 minutes to try to ride on the shoulder and commit to that, and it was still impossible because shoulder was too steep already, but then I commit, and then I had one big wash, and I think I will never forget this. Lucky enough, I was very lucky. I didn't break the gear. Nothing happened, but maybe I don't want to be on that condition anymore. This is like what I would say. But now 4 feet, since that experience and since big days on Manawa, now 4 feet swell seems like, fun for me.
All right, so you get used to that. But when I think about these videos and you in that super big wave, and then you fall, I mean, you have daggers built to your board, which is probably pretty still close to you. Did anything ever happen?
Touch would not, and I'm very lucky. I had also very big wipeout at Mauritius last year. I was lucky, in Timbu dry, like washing machine with my gear like that, all around. And I don't know how and same at Exmouth this year. I don't know how I managed to do this, but luckily nothing happened. However, now I have two special leashes. One of my board, which I can just unhook and release, and second is like it's Anchorman leash from Cloud9, and they send me this leash, and I think I save not only in terms of my life or avoid the injury, but also gear wise, because it's like you have like a plastic hook and you literally can release your wing. So, you have more drag, and this wing probably will fly in the sky, make a few runs, and then in the end, it's like a bag, like a anchor, and it soon grab the water, it just stays stable behind the, impact zones.
This parachute thing, right?
Yeah, this parachute thing. If you go big waves, I will highly recommend to, have one for your own safety.
What other precaution do you take? You have a jet ski right by your side, or how do you do that?
At Mauritius, I'm the friends with the Iron Class owner. So I always, whoever is on, working stuff, I said, "Hi guys, I'm going to Manawa," because as you know, Manawa is 2 kilometers from the shore. This is color of my wing. I'm planning 1 hour of my session. For example, if I'm not back, please look after me. But also on big days, like just we can make a jokes, but actually Mauritius is really serious place, because channels, etc., many, and far away from the shore, many things can really go wrong very fast there. So on big days I take my impact vest and phone, so I can call, if I just have a zip on my chest, and can call if something happened. And usually there is few rescue boats either way, in Ion Club or from local providers, and I'm always with my helmet on the waves. And also I love my yellow helmet from Forward Whip, because at least if I fall off, maybe someone will be easy to, spot me or not roll over me. So this is something like a habit, this helmet and impact vest. Yeah, these two things, especially on big days. You never know. You can even fall off on the boards and break, your ribs. So it's unnecessary risk. Which can happening things can go wrong really quick. Last year in Exmouth was just normal day, I was after wave, I make a jibe, look where is my friend, upwind, I lost the conscious because I was looking, lost my balance, and I fell off on the board, and unfortunately board go sideways and I hit my chin in the board. It wasn't like I had some bleeding, but it was small, but I get concussion and I lost I was knocked out for like I don't know 3 seconds, but still it's happened, so better use some safety equipment.
But there's nothing that can help you against the knock on the chin.
No, and also nothing. This is winging, guys. This is not kitesurf. Even on windsurfing, when I had a big wipeout, it was not like that. On kitesurfing, you can pull the bar and you gone. You up, your board will be hanging without it. But on winging, if you are in impact zone and something happened, you are in troubles. Like literally in serious troubles. So, and then you just wash. There's different technique. Some people try to drop the wing against the waves, but it's definitely I think as someone who was big wave winging had those scary moments.
That was one of my questions, actually. Yeah, like how do you have like some techniques that you use when you're getting washed out?
When you fall off, you don't have any control. Yeah? But as soon as I fall off and I turn around and see that another set is coming, I usually let it go my wing. I'm not saying that depends of the swell that I unhook myself from the wing, but just let it go. I grab both hands. I grab the back strap and put the nose with the waves, to the shore direction, and try to lay flat and put my legs behind this to be far away from the gear. So if I push the pressure, with two hands like that, how I will be rolling, I sort of underwater, I sort of start to, protect myself from being hit by the foil. And board is in the front of me, so it's like board, me, and the waves behind. Works for me anyway.
Yeah,
Makes a
for
lot
sure.
of sense. I have a question about the filming or maybe the feeling the waves. If you go down a tall wave, do you realize how big it is, or is it only after when you watch the videos when you see like, oh, that was bigger than I felt?
If it's really, really big, I realize straight and I'm on this wave and I'm like, oh shit, don't fall off. Better don't fall off, because I really take a risk, and I had this question many times. I think I posted some big crashes from Bali and Mauritius, and it was like, for example, just breaking wave and just almost was eaten, or I was stuck in a few times. Man, I will be not lying to you. It's really scary and it can be painful, because twice I was really pulled very, very hard. I thought it was rip my arm or something, but no pain, no gain. What can I say? I love wave riding. This is my things. I do a little bit freestyle and different stuff, but when you see me when I'm going wave riding, it's totally different, mood and level. So I guess this is like, a bit addiction maybe as well, but great fun. It's not every time need to be big waves, it's just fun to ride them.
When I see your videos, they look very well produced. Do you have always or often someone with you who films?
Oh, that's a very good question, Matt. Actually, not often, but because I'm in this, triangle, Australia, Mauritius, Bari, I'm lucky enough to have like people in each of those places. And at Mauritius, my good friend of mine, Kirill Gab, he's a brilliant, video maker and producer. So not only like, drone pilot, but as you can see on this video, he really take a risk as I am on the waves, because he's flying really low to to get a good angle. So if anyone heading to Mauritius and want to have a great even holiday footage from either way, winging, windsurfing, or kiting, this is definitely the guy to approach. And we were talking actually a lot how we do this, and this whole video, marketing video for, Duotone Leaf and Whip. And we had some ideas, and I think and we had also great fun in filming that. But this beach part was probably the most difficult for me, because it was like running on the beach from 6 a.m. and repeating the stuff, and I'm not a model, and I didn't feel really well with that. But it was hard physical work, but great experience though.
And there you see that this is a job as well, right? Can you add his or give us his Instagram handle so people can contact him eventually?
Of course, that would be great. So it's Kirill Gap.
Yeah, we're gonna add it in the description of the video or on screen up here somewhere. You can send it to us later on.
How about prawn foiling? Because you started with riding with Wingfoil, and then of course you started towing in. And how about prawn foiling?
So Gal, because I was running the school business and organizing the comms, be on board, I was a really busy person, and I didn't have much time to riding, sadly, for myself. And this year, 2024, especially beginning of April, I was like, because I have birthday in April, I was like, nah, I'm changed this. It can be like that. So I went to Bali, start to learn prawn foiling and tow foiling. I start to learn surfing this year, and also downwinding, and I'm planning next week to be familiar with this parawing. So I just went to the trips and put my hours in this and commitment. And each of those discipline, to be fair, is hard for me, because I have water sport background, but from wind sport, not necessarily surfing or prawning. But I'm slowly getting there, I hope.
Well, when I watch your videos, you pretty much look like you know what you're doing.
But it's a lot. Again, it's I don't know, I don't think that I'm like super talented person or something like that, but definitely I am determined and just slowly put my hours and watch a lot of videos as well, where I am or where I want to be. And I think since April already, it's even not end of the year, I'm pretty happy with my prawning or towing, but it's still a lot of work to do in those disciplines, that's for sure.
We had the guys from Foil Drive on a couple of episodes ago. Is that anything you would want to try? Because you could combine that proning or the downwinding without any help, without boat.
Look, I think the foil drive are great devices for someone who living on the lake, or people who are not maybe very skilled. And I'm not even saying in terms of be skilled or not, but they are retired, or they still want to be like on e-foil in the water and share the stock and enjoy. I think it's the great devices, and it also can be great tool for learning either way, wing foiling or prawning. However, I'm a 53 kilo. This is not a secret. So for myself, this all propeller with a battery, it seems like be even on my small board pretty heavy. And I was consider actually to use them for improve my prawning or cheat a bit in the beginning of my downwind adventure. But then I realized, no, I'm not a cheater. I need to commit and I need to do it. So, who knows, if someone send me one for free, I will not probably say no to test and see how it goes. But I have a few goes actually on e-foils from my friends or the foil drive. But it's a good fun for me for 15 minutes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you look too sporty to have a shortcut.
And I'm afraid of this, maybe, I don't know, but this is, engine, this, you need to definitely, as with everything, probably put your hours to commit to this. But I know many people who use them and, they are very happy about it.
I said it in the intro that sometimes people look at you differently because you're a woman. Have you experienced any things like that?
Oh, look, This is really hard topic because one hand being woman in water sport, you always says it's like a boys club, doesn't matter if you surfing or the discipline. And second thing is be a woman in Australia. So, well, this is quite challenging sometimes, but also I'm very fortunate to meet really good friends, like in the guys, which are really cool and supportive. But sometimes, yes, unfortunately, still I'm dealing with, oh, you did pretty good, like a girl, oh, you are a girl and you foiling. Oh, I'm not sure what those comments and questions are about, but I think we are all equal and ocean is, open for everyone. So it's quite surprising that in 21st century we still, have those comments. But I guess it's the depends of the person, like everywhere probably.
For me, it's really hard to understand. We talked with Grico episode 1 about that, and even if I look at my YouTube, which is super small by the way, but there are 98% male viewers, and I don't know why that is.
I think, Matt, because you share the stock, so this is the first thing, and you with Gal are very nice guys. But I give you the example. First year on my lessons in school was 98% of guys. Okay, next year start this number a little bit changing, and last year when I was teaching was last season was 35 women, which I'm very happy about this. And I think there's few factors. In Australia, men's not really likely like to be told by the girl, and especially, blonde girl from Europe. So some people will be struggling 3 months and not successful in the river before they, decide to come for the lesson, that's all right. Everyone has different style. And girls usually they're really great learner because they are great listener, so they really follow the instruction and tips, without discussion. I'm not saying the guys not, but it's a bit about a different approach. And I think that girls are very humble, like to listen others, they want to, if they don't know something, they want to learn more. I'm very grateful for what you guys said about my wave riding, but I still feel like I'm really need to put a lot of hours to learn more. And I'm not a superstar or something like that. I just love to do this, but it's a long way, in the front of me where I really want to be. um, of course I'm very grateful and happy that I can training and be in the water, but as well, I don't like talking about myself this way, but for example, the guys coming in the lesson and they said, for example, or I want to be on the foil tomorrow and I can smash it, this is that kind of approach. And the ladies coming and said, oh look, Anna, I decided to give you a call because you are the lady and I thought I will feel safe with you, but I really am not sure if I can't do it, and if they are reaping, they are good, which I can see, out there, they always underestimate themselves or compare themselves to the guys. And guys sometimes, look, this is just example. I'm not saying that's happening all the time. They are not really, let's say, cause this great skills, and they behave like, king of the spot. So this is really like, and I spoke with many girls in water sport and good friend of mine, and really way better rider than I in different disciplines, and sort of same, feedback coming, unfortunately. So guys, we are equal. Let's change this, please. It's really, what you guys think? Just last one. It's really nicer have a girls around at the beach. It's different vibes, and usually girls are very supportive. They are not competitive, smiling. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just I'm sharing my experience.
Thank you for that.
That's true. Yeah, and plus I have to mention that when there's this pattern, when someone is like, yeah, I'm gonna smash it. First of all, he's gonna get it. It's gonna take him like double the time, and then he's gonna get injured. Like the chances of getting injured when you're so cocky and when you're not humble, you're gonna get humbled by the activity, by the gear. So yeah. the girl approach in these sports is safer, 100%.
100% agree, Gal. And give you example, when I want to learn Air 360 on the wing for 2 weeks, I was jumping and landing 180 only because first I was scared. Second, I really wanted not to do. And touch wood, since then, whenever I'm, if crash my 360, I never fall off on the board. So about safetyness, maybe this is something in that.
Yeah, just one last question, because I'm curious now, because you said that you don't want to live in Perth for the rest of your life, in Australia probably for the rest of your life. And I guess that you traveled a little bit, Bali, Mauritius, whatnot. So if you want to share, what do you have in mind?
Sure, that's a very very good question, guys. So I love Western Australia, but for a few months per year for holidays, because in terms, it was great life. I had actually I came to Australia in December 2019, so I had great 5 years here. But okay, waves are better in Mauritius, in my opinion. And I follow my heart. So that's besides of talking about, cost living, visas, different stuff. That's the thing that Mauritius have clean ocean water as well. Amazing wildlife and, I guess lifestyle in terms as well. A lot of green forest and awesome hikings, which is a little bit variety, not only, the ocean. And I think at the moment, let's see when lives brings me or send me, but Manawa is one of my favorite ways in the world. So this is the reason when I will be still in 3 places around the world, but I think from March, April, I will be based for real in Mauritius and coming to Perth for my, clinics and holidays. I think I will still keep my van. I have pretty fancy, Volkswagen Crafter long wheelbase, self-made van here. So it's great for like holiday trip, but in terms of where I want to be in wave riding, I think it's the better environment for training, and also very fortunate to have great friends there. And either way, there, Bali or here, but just the waves, God, this is the answer. The honest answer.
100%,
That sounds
and I
amazing.
couldn't agree more. But how about your school? Are you gonna keep it open with someone helping you out there, or you're just gonna go fully online? I mean, fully camps.
So I decided to not provide lessons in Perth anymore and transit to camps. And lucky enough, had I think 450 customers during the 3 years in my school. So it was really busy, as you can see. And just inform all my students that we will be doing these camps. And people have holidays time if they want to come and nail from zero to hero or even different skills, that more than welcome, but no more one-on-one coaching or like lessons or high performance coaching. This I would like to move myself from this. Maybe I will be doing only online coaching a little bit for people who can't really come to none of those spots, or they are in Canada, which I did a little bit in different places. But yeah, I'm planning to move to those clinics. And just the example, this year I did a trial at Mauritius, and in 10 days, it was beautiful condition, though every day windy, but the guys who rock up on the clinic, they were doing 50-50 jibes, and they ended up with grabbing home toe side, heel side tags, both sides, raise jibe, 360, all on the foil. So I think in 10 days, it's pretty amazing achievement. And also at Bali, I had beginners and the girls who have non-water sport background or experience. Like I'm saying, no, like never, literally nothing. Even they have never ever stand on the stand-up paddle board, just can swim and snorkeling. they nailed, tow foiling from big board behind the boat until took them with a small sinker and wake start to the first wave, and 3 of them were up on the foil both sides in terms of winging, and one of them nailed the jibe in 5-day clinic. So I think it's pretty, fast. So if someone wanna name the skill fast instead, coming for the lesson, this the goal.
100%. Yeah, I think it's just a smarter business decision. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking how I can earn at least same money, but work a little bit less and enjoy myself and upgrade my skills in the water. And one thing which put me as well to decision was like in terms of geographic wise, is I think a smart decision, because luckily pushing my Instagram hard, I start to have pretty nice recognition around the world, but not many people will come to Australia, because it's far away and it's expensive, to be fair. And Mauritius, I just saying it's halfway. Yeah. So we have halfway to Europe and halfway to, so that's also, and I would love to, work somehow, because I have like a missing home a little bit after 5 years. So it would be nice also to work with Polish people in terms, teach them. And this Mauritius and Bali definitely can bring, on board.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you for taking your time and having your 5th session, downwind session, a little shorter to talk with us. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to add, want to tell the audience just before we wrap it up?
No, I just want to say so sorry for talking a lot, but I didn't know what to, I was a little bit nervous and didn't know what to expect. But I just want to thank you so much, guys, because it's nice I'm really appreciated that you pick up, the gear for your podcast, which is amazing, because I would love to see more gears in the world and like in the water in terms, and don't understand me wrong, as much I really like and enjoy doing this all foiling discipline with my lovely friends or other guys. That's always something special.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Then you're in luck, because all that's left for me now is to tell you what the next episode is going to be about. And it's going to be with Julia Castro. I don't know if you've seen her, if you know her, Fuerte Julia.
I never met her in person, but I heard about her. So that sounds amazing, guys. And thank you for doing this, and and take your time to listen about my small Polish Australian life.
It was amazing to getting to know you. As we've said, you're foil.anna. We have Carla Daniele. I'm Matt on foil. If you like this show, to the listeners and to viewers, we have a Patreon link is in the description if you want to help us out. And if not, thank you very much for listening, for watching, and see you in the next one.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.